Shalom, friends. From the Piaseczner Rebbe for Parshat Vayetzei, we have two drashot from Derech HaMelech, which we've discussed in the past, having to do with the difference between the word ani and the word anochi, two words for me, as Hashem uses them to describe himself or introduce himself. And the one drasha we have from Eish Kodesh, which is from Tafshin, from November 1939, he also touches on this point. It's very interesting that he was very, very interested in this topic, and it came up in all the drashas that we have from this parsha. But we won't talk about that again. We'll talk about a different thing that he brings in this Eish Kodesh drasha. He talks about Yaakov's dream of the angels going up and down in the ladder, and he quotes a Midrash Rabbah that these angels going up and down represent the different nations of the world who rule over Israel, go up and down. It's a very well-known Midrash, but he touches on a specific point of it, which is that Hashem says that he's standing over Yaakov to guard him, and he needs to be guarded, says the Midrash, because when there are battles between the nations and they're knocking each other down, Am Yisrael, who ostensibly is this little, small, sidelined people who aren't necessarily part of these big battles, have to be careful that there's collateral damage often can affect Am Yisrael, and the Rebbe clearly sees that in his case as well. He says right now, he's talking about, it's World War II, all the different big nations of the world are having their big battle, and who's suffering the most is Am Yisrael, who are theoretically not really aside in the conflict. In theory, they shouldn't be, and nonetheless, they are suffering the huge collateral damage from this world war. So he says it's really important that we be careful at these times, and we need special protection at these times. He says, "B'shah shetzar lanu v'anu sovlim atav beit shasarim olim v'yordim," and we call it sarot. So at this time when we are suffering from the fact that the angels of the nations are going up and down, etc. So what do we need to do? What should we do at a time when we're in this kind of difficult situation? He says, "Tzrichim lachkok et hadivrim b'libeinu." We have to engrave in our hearts shetisher ha'achna'a v'yiram lefanav yitbrach, that submission and awe of Hashem will always remain in our hearts. Shegam kashiyazor Hashem b'mira lanu mikol tzrotenu, that even when Be'ezrat Hashem very quickly Hashem will rescue us from all of our troubles, nonetheless niyeh mishubadim alav yitbarach, will still be submissive to him, v'na'avdeu be'emet ba'ava u'biyirah, and we'll still serve Hashem with truth, love, and awe. So basically what the Rebbe is saying, the main message here is that when there are difficult times, which are often seemingly times where Am Yisrael is subject to collateral damage, to bigger events that are happening in the world, and you can think about for yourselves about the situation of Am Yisrael today, whether that fits into that paradigm or not. But either way, when we are having trouble and trying to keep our heads above the water, perhaps as a people or as individuals, it's really important to remember that when Be'ezrat Hashem will help us, not to just sort of then move on and forget about where we've been, but to take the passion of our service that we had in the time when we felt we needed Hashem's more in our lives, and keep that very, very strong to continue to serve Hashem properly after we feel that things have worked out, and hopefully that will come soon and we will be able to put that into practice. So Shabbat Shalom, good tidings, all the best, take care.